Alright, what's up guys? So today I'm bringing you guys my top 10 games of 2022. Now, I believe 2022 was a really good year for gaming. I've seen a lot of people maybe complaining about it and shitting on it. It did have a little bit of a dry patch in the middle, but honestly, there was some really great games. Like, way more so than the last 3 years combined, in my opinion. Honestly, like, the games that we got over the last year have been really top tier, some of them, like absolutely brilliant. And we're here to talk about my top 10. So first off, I did want to make a little quick remark that Elden Ring is not going to be on my list. I've not completed it. I do really want to make it a life goal to eventually complete that game, but I haven't really had the time to delve into a game like that. I haven't really beat anything in my backlog since July. I've only been playing games that I've been playing on the channel. So yeah, I do want to get back into Elden Ring at some point and beat that. Maybe over the Christmas period I'll delve into it a little bit, but it's a game that needs so much attention. So you kind of need a period of time where you're not playing anything else to really delve into Elden Ring and kind of give it your all and beat the bosses and stuff like that. But I've played maybe 15 hours. This would of course definitely be on my list. Some of the creativity, the design choices in this game are incredible, and I absolutely applauded for that, and I think it's a deserved Game of the Year winner, no doubt. And also another game that I wanted to give a shout out to that I'm currently playing but have not beat in time for this list is Pentiment. Now this game would definitely be on my list as well. Pentiment has been really fun. I think I've played about 6 hours of the game now, and it just keeps getting better and better. It's basically like a visual novel where you make choices and you have to kind of decide. It's like a murder mystery visual novel almost, but it's a really incredible game, and I'd highly recommend checking it out. I've been playing it on Steam Deck, which has actually enhanced my experience because I've just been playing like half an hour before bed every now and then, and it's been really fun to do that. So yeah, I wanted to give shout outs to those games, and other than that I don't really have too many honorable mentions because I don't think there was like a large majority of great games, but the ones that we got were really good, especially once we delve into like my top 5 and stuff like that. But we're gonna start at number 10, of course, and that's gonna be The Quarry. So The Quarry was an interesting one for me because I absolutely loved Until Dawn back on the PS4, and I was really excited to see what Supermassive could do. They've worked on the Dark Pictures games since, and I wasn't really all that impressed with those games, but this wasn't a part of the Dark Pictures anthology, and that got me excited, as I feel like all the Dark Pictures games just have like kind of a middle of the road ceiling. Like, they're not going to be great games. They're going to be at best pretty good, and The Quarry definitely surpassed those games and was an enjoyable ride. It wasn't perfect, and there was definitely some bad dialogue in there, but overall there was enough good there to keep me engaged in the story, and I had a lot of fun with the game. There were some very good acting performances as well, like Ariel Winter from Modern Family was good in it, and you could tell it was more in line with Until Dawn in terms of quality and, like, I'd say performance and graphics and stuff like that than it was with the Dark Pictures games. And I did do a full review of this game here on the Apex Hound 2 channel as well, so if you want my full extended thoughts, please go and check that out. Now, and that'll be the case for a lot of these games as well. I have done full reviews for maybe half the games on this list, so we won't obviously be delving too deep into some of these because I have fully in-depth reviews on the channel of these games. Now, next is a game that I didn't do a review of, but in 9th position comes As Dusk Falls. Now, this one kind of came out of nowhere and surprised me because I was really not excited for this game at all, and I didn't really like the look of it, to be honest. The style of it just didn't really appeal to me, but as it was co-op, I decided to give it a bash, and I was not disappointed at all. It's not a style I'd really seen before, but it was actually really enjoyable and unique in the way that they did it, and it's got great voice acting and a brilliant interactive story throughout, where you and your friend can basically make decisions together. You can even like override each other's decision if you really feel passionately about one decision, and I think you have like 3 overrides per chapter or something like that. And the decisions are actually really tough. Like, they really make you think and kind of go, oh god, what kind of impact will this have on the story? And they do have a real impact, with multiple different outcomes and endings for the game. And this game as well is on Game Pass, so if you have Game Pass and you have a friend, I'd highly recommend checking this game out over a weekend, as it only takes about 6 hours to beat, so you can definitely knock it out over a weekend. It's definitely like a good game to maybe chill with your friend and kind of have some fun and make some decisions together, because I do think it's a fun game to do that. that for. And as does Falls, a deserved place on the list in my opinion. Now next up on the list is another 2K game, and it's PGA Tour 2K23. I'd be lying to myself if I didn't have this on the list, but it's hard to put it higher up with the way that it launched and all of the bugs and kind of little niggly stuff that it had with the game. Now, of course, I played an insane amount of this game, and I have a full review up on my main channel, The Apex Hound. But yeah, there's a lot to be positive about with this game as well, and I'm excited about the future of golf games with the updates coming to 2K23. They have a good roadmap, they have ranked coming, they have crossplay coming, which are super important for the game in my opinion, and of course then the release of EA Sports PGA Tour as well. Just golf video games in general are in a really good place, and I think this game did a lot of stuff right with the gameplay, and it's definitely a real challenge, and it makes you play good to score good. I'll tell you that much, because in 2K21 I feel like you could play poorly and still score well. In this game, if you play poorly, you're scoring poorly as well. Now, PGA Tour 2K23 is on 8th on the list. Now, let's delve in to 7th, which is Stray. Now, Stray was one that came out of nowhere for me, and even as a complete dog person, I have 2 dogs myself, I absolutely loved my 5 to 6 hour romp through this game. It reminded me a little bit of games as I played as a kid, like A Dog's Life, where you play as an animal, and that's just incredibly exciting to me. I absolutely adored A Dog's Life when I was a kid. Now, of course, this is a completely different type of game, don't get me wrong, but it was a really special experience nonetheless, and it's free on PS Plus Premium as well if you have the new service, so that's a good bonus there. And I also did a full review of this one. This was one of the first main reviews I did on the Apex Hound 2 channel, which is cool. It kind of kicked off our review cycle on the Apex Hound 2, and I gave this game, I think, like a 23 out of 30 or something, so pretty high score for a game like this, an indie title like this, but very enjoyable, and I think you should definitely check it out if you have PS Plus Premium. It's worth a download, it's worth a try. And the game actually got nominated for like multiple Game of the Year awards as well at the Game Awards. I wouldn't have it kind of on that level or anything, but still an enjoyable experience nonetheless. 6th on the list is the Callisto Protocol. Callisto Protocol is the most recent game on the list, so it is freshest in my memory, but I definitely like this a little bit more than the general consensus. Now, this game wasn't perfect in any way, but it's what I was expecting from this title, and overall the graphics and atmosphere kept me engaged enough for this to be a really enjoyable linear horror experience. The dodge mechanic I actually liked more than most people as well. It could be a little bit overwhelming with a lot of enemies, but I thought it was actually a fun thing to do one-on-one, definitely, and people I think are overstating how bad the dodge mechanic was. I don't think it was that bad at all, but bad boss fights and a lack of creativity with the characters and story kept this from being a great game, but I think for a first attempt from this studio, it's really impressive, and I hope they get a chance to do a sequel and learn from their mistakes, because there's definitely the potential for something great there, 100%. I do believe as well that people had their expectations a little bit too high for the Callisto Protocol. They expected it to be on that Dead Space level, and I don't think it was ever going to be on that Dead Space level. But enough of that, let's jump into our top 5. So coming in at 5th is the first game I actually played this year, and that was Dying Light 2. This was a really enjoyable experience, and it's one that I was very excited about for a long time. Ever since seeing it behind closed doors at E3 in 2019, that's when I got really excited. I was already excited. I was already excited because I was such a big fan of the first game, and I really do think that's an underrated title. My anticipation for this was high regardless, but after seeing it behind closed doors and seeing the scope of the game, I got even more excited. The game really didn't have like the most memorable story or characters in the world, but they were totally serviceable, and I did enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy it, but the gameplay is where it really shines. The parkour, the melee, the stealth, all epic. During the day is when you want to take on your missions and meet up with other survivors or take on human enemies, maybe try and get a few camps or something like that. But the tension when the sun goes down and all the zombies come out is when it gets really scary. When you hear the zombies at nighttime and you have them chasing you through the streets up onto the roofs, that's when the game gets tense and scary and horror-like, and it really does get incredibly nervy at nighttime, and that was a really enjoyable experience. But and yeah, I enjoyed the game. It didn't blow me away or anything, but it was a really good sequel, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do with the franchise in the future. Now, from a zombie horror game to a racing game, we're on to fourth on the list, Gran Turismo 7. A little bit of a change up here, but Gran Turismo is a franchise that holds a special place in my heart, and it actually just celebrated its 25th anniversary a couple of days ago. I actually did a video on the Apex Sound channel a couple of days ago celebrating that 25th anniversary event and kind of doing one of the 25th anniversary tournaments or whatever. But I just have so many memories of this franchise, starting way back with Gran Turismo 3 for me. I think I actually watched my dad play Gran Turismo 2 a bit as well, but yeah, I've played every one since 3, and I've absolutely adored it. This has been my main racing franchise along with Need for Speed, and I know they're polar opposites, but this franchise has continued to impress me, whereas Need for Speed has kind of not impressed me as much. But yeah, the cafe menus and online dailies were really enjoyable in this game. Trying to get gold on every super license was incredibly challenging, and so fun to do that on stream and video. Actually, trying to get those golds was really rewarding in the end. But I honestly had the most fun with this game doing custom lobbies with friends and smashing into each other and having really fun races together, because yeah, me and Genie have a couple of fun moments of us just absolutely rallying into each other going around the corner, and those are some fun moments that I'll never really forget on Gran Turismo. And I just really enjoyed this game, and downloading it again recently and kind of playing it again just shows me what a great racing game this is, and I need to get back into it a little bit more and do some more online dailies, maybe do some more streams of Gran Turismo, maybe even some videos here and there as well. So if you're interested in that, check out the Apex Sound channel, of course. Now, let's jump into this infamous top 3, and I delve into the top 3 that I believe, honestly, are so high quality. All 3 of these games, I absolutely love them, and they'd be high up on my list in any year I've played games. First up is A Plague Tale Requiem, and in any of the last 3 years before this one, this would be my game of the year, no doubt. It's an absolutely beautiful experience, a brilliant story that really touched me in a deep way, as cringe as that is to say, and we're a poet right now. But yeah, this game just has a beautiful story with brilliant performances in terms of animations and voice acting, and a special brother-sister relationship that carries on from A Plague Tale Innocence. But this game adds so much more than A Plague Tale Innocence for me, in terms of characters, in terms of character depth, in terms of gameplay options, and overall scope. We've got some great stealth gameplay, but now we also have some great kind of offensive gameplay as well, where Amicia basically gets a lot more aggressive and angry in this game, and that kind of shows in the gameplay, and she's all grown up and has got a lot stronger and can use a lot more to her advantage, we'll say, in terms of combat. She doesn't just have to run away all the time, which is awesome. And this game had an absolutely epic conclusion as well, like one of the most heartbreaking and at the same time beautiful endings that I've seen in a video game in recent memory. Like, it was just absolutely brilliant, and I can't fault the studio for this game at all. And I'm really, it seems like this might be the end of like Amicia's journey, obviously, and Hugo's journey, but it seems like they might be kind of continuing on with the franchise based off the ending and the end credit scene. And I'm really excited to see what this team does next. I don't want to spoil too much there, but very excited about the future of A Plague Tale. If you haven't played this one, it is on Game Pass as well, guys. If you have an Xbox or you have PC, I'd highly recommend it. And even if you have PlayStation, just buy it. Get someone to buy it for you for Christmas, and please play this game, because I really do believe that you will love it. Because if you like story games, you will absolutely love this game. It has a beautiful, amazing story, kind of akin to like a Last of Us type story. And if you love The Last of Us and you love games like that, I really think you'll like this one a lot. Now, let's jump in to number 2 on the list, and this is going to cause some controversy, no doubt, because not having God of War or Elden Ring as your game of the year is quite shocking, but it will turn a few heads for sure. But honestly, not putting this game here, God of War Ragnarok, as my game of the year was incredibly difficult. It's such an amazing game, and with some of the story decisions, it seems like this game was tailor-made for me and my love of wolves and Norse mythology. This game had me on the verge of tears multiple times with some of the cutscenes throughout one of the best stories that has been told in gaming, in my opinion. This was a step up up from God of War 2018 in almost every way, but both games are amazing in their own right. 2018 was different. It was completely focused on the relationship between Kratos and Atreus and was much more contained than Ragnarok is. Ragnarok just has so much more to it. It's basically the culmination of everything that's happened throughout the God of War journey. It has a far wider variety of important characters where it really felt like a big family, and then of course you had the Norse gods involved as well. And the gameplay was also just incredible and just kept evolving throughout the game, so there was a lot of variety and switch up in the ways you can fight. And some of the scenes between Atreus and Kratos in this game are just absolutely beautiful. One of my favorite scenes in the game is just a conversation between Atreus and Kratos, and that goes on for a couple of minutes, and they just talk about the future, their future together, and it's just an absolutely brilliant, beautiful moment. But yeah, there was definitely some heartbreaking moments in this game as well, and it really does make you feel things as you go through this world and experience this story. And God of War Ragnarok, I'm sorry for not putting you on top of the list, because I really do believe you are one of the best games I have ever played. I truly do believe that, but so is the game at number 1. And Horizon Forbidden West is my personal game of the year. Horizon Forbidden West, to me, is the ultimate sequel. Some of the best graphics and character models I've ever seen in a video game, engaging gameplay that makes all of the side content and random monster encounters incredibly fun. And honestly, I went back to Horizon Forbidden West about a week ago to try and start working towards the platinum, and that's when I made my decision to make Horizon Forbidden West my game of the year, because I really went back and forth between Horizon Forbidden West and God of War multiple times on which was my game of the year, because I do feel like they're just so close to me personally. Like, if I could say like both of them are my game of the year, I would do that, but I feel like that would be a cop-out. I have to pick one, and I went with Horizon Forbidden West. I just felt right at home when I came back to the game a week ago. It's just so much fun to play, using different methods to take out different machines with a wide variety of weapons that all affect each differently is so satisfying. But to be honest, I think the thing that maybe surprised me or impressed me the most about Horizon Forbidden West is the story. It's such a huge improvement over Zero Dawn in that regard, in my opinion, but it's just an incredible all-around game where I don't think the game has any weaknesses. It took what Zero Dawn did and improved it in every way, and it's such a shame about the release window with all the attention being on Elden Ring, because I do think this game deserves more. And if you haven't played it, give it a go. You will not regret it, in my opinion. If you don't have a PlayStation, then fair enough, but if you have a PS5 and you haven't played this game, it's a must play. But yeah, the story went in a direction that I didn't really expect it to, and I think that it pulled it off perfectly. And the future of Horizon is bright, because they are hopefully not going to run this franchise into the ground, though, with all of the shit that they have planned for it. The TV show, the VR game, the goddamn MMO game, because they have such a good foundation here, man. Horizon Zero Dawn, loved it. Horizon Forbidden West, better in every single way, in my opinion. I really do believe that. It's better in every single way. And I think that this is the best looking game, the most impressive game on PS5. For sure. The most impressive game on PS5. Because you see some of these side characters, and they have an incredible amount of detail in their every single character that you meet in the world, and there's loads of them, has so much detail and personality to them that you can hardly believe it. Like, the side content in this game is incredible. Flying around on that goddamn flying mount over the world is just fun to do in itself. Like, not even doing anything, just going around and flying around and just kind of looking everywhere and kind of just exploring. Like, exploring in this game is so much fun to do. The side content is really fun, and that's why I'm actually really looking forward to getting the platinum over the Christmas period here. I haven't had the time recently, but when I get back to it here, I'm just looking forward to delving in and going for the platinum. And this is a truly special game that I won't forget anytime soon at all, and I'll probably replay at some point because there's just so much to it and so much character to this game, honestly. And I love what they've done with the cultures as well. People are saying it's cultural appropriation or whatever. Shut the fuck up with that shit. Honestly, you're a loser if you say anything close to that. But anyway, that's where I should sign off before I start going crazy on a rant. 2022 was an awesome year for gaming, and Horizon Forbidden West was the cherry on top, in my opinion. Thank you for all the support throughout this video, throughout this year on the channel. It really means a lot to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. So big plans for the Apex Sound 2 in 2023, and we are going to execute execute those plans together. Thank you for the support. If you want to see more videos like this, drop a like. Let me know down in the comments what your game of the year is, or what your top 3, top 5 is, whatever you want to say. I'd be very interested to see what everyone's game of the year is. I'm sure there'll obviously be a lot of God of War Ragnarok and Elden Ring shouts, but I'm looking forward to seeing people that have maybe a different opinion there as well. But thanks for the support. Really appreciate it, guys. I'll see you next year for some more content here on the Apex Hound 2. I'll see you this year as well, but next year we'll have some new games, and I'm really excited about doing this video again next year. Peace out.